Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. And I'm also a tarot psychic medium, and I connect with the universe and the spirit world to bring you any messages that you may need to help navigate the ever-changing energy in on this crazy blue ball that we're flying through space on together. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm so happy you're here. If you've been here before and you're returning, I'm also happy you're here. Thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share with your friends, cross-watch. For the tarot scopes, I always recommend that you watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. These are general readings, so the messages might not always land with you, and that's okay. You can leave them for someone else and wait for the messages that are meant for you. So today we are here to talk about Virgo season. Happy birthday, Virgos. I think we'll probably need a little bit of grounding after Leo season, although it was a really fun, fulfilling Leo season, and I hope that you got some of the Leo season magic in your world. And it's still time. There's still time. You can still go and watch your Leo season tarot scopes if you haven't. We definitely are going to have some of the fun, unapologetic energy carrying into Virgo season. So Virgo season goes from August 22nd, the evening of the 22nd, maybe the 23rd where you are, to September 21st. And so in the northern hemisphere, this is the end of summer and it is the end of winter in the southern hemisphere. And so Virgo season is a mutable sign, and mutable signs always come at the end of the earthly seasons. And then we have an Aquarius. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, right before Virgo season turned to Virgo season, the evening before into the morning after, the 21st to the 22nd, is our second Aquarius full moon. And if you haven't watched the replay of the Aquarius full moon live, definitely go check out the energy reading for what the Aquarius full moon is. The second Aquarius full moon is bringing us. Leo season was bookended by these Aquarius full moons, and since it's literally pretty much happening the same day that Virgo season switches over, it's within the same 12-hour period that these energies are all transitioning. It's gonna carry a lot of that Aquarius energy, and some of the Leo energy that played with the Aquarius energy of being our unapologetic weird selves, no matter what it looks like on the outside. Some other dates that you'll need to remember is Venus went into Libra on August 16th and will be there until September 10th. Now, Venus rules Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And so when planets are always in their ruling sign, they affect us much more powerfully. And when Venus is in Libra, it really has us prioritizing our emotions when it comes to relationships, not just romantic relationships. And really, I feel like I just heard love languages. And so I could see that this is a time where we're really going to be exploring what our love languages are, and also how do we communicate that to others. The Venus in Libra will be helping us communicate our boundaries also. Any of these forms of self-love, or how we love each other, how we love each other, how we want to be loved, all that kind of stuff is really going to be stirred up for those couple weeks, or It's just under a month. Next, the Virgo new moon is Tuesday, September 7th, and there will be a live probably like that Friday or Saturday before. Keep an eye on my social media to find out. And then we will have our full moon in Pisces right at the end of Virgo season on September 20th, which is interesting because we're going to really have kind of like a very Virgo-y Virgo season, since the full moon, a lot of the time the full moon can kind of help break up the energy of the season and can give us a nice balance to it. But we're having these moments now where the full moons are coming at the end of the season, so it's kind of like a highlight. So I'm very curious to see how this Virgo season, how the next month is kind of, I have a feeling the energy is going to kind of build up to this full moon. So all this Virgo energy is really we're still playing off of the energy from the season before. It's the theme of this year. And we're coming off of this very strong Leo Aquarius energy from Leo season, and it's being brought into Virgo season by this last Aquarius full moon. The Aquarius full moon is helping bring over this Leo season energy that was really highlighted by these Aquarius moons, and this energy of being our unapologetic self, being, even if it looked weird from the outside, and really like accepting who we are. And from Cancer season we got like, what do we really want and who are we really? And now in Virgo season, it's really about like just standing in that place, standing in who you are. I think Virgo energy sometimes can be overlooked because a lot of Virgos can appear to be introverted, or they can kind of stand off in the back. They like to be supporting players. And because it's just after Leo season, which is a very expansive energy, there is more of a contracting energy in Virgo season. And I think Virgo energy and Virgos in general can sometimes be easily overlooked because they all appear always to like have their shit together. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be great? Which, I have a Virgo moon, and so I have noticed that people are like, man, you really seem like you have your shit together. I'm like, well, at least it seems like I do. Maybe one day reality will catch up. So, but the really valuable thing about Virgos and Virgo energy is that they're an earth sign, and that they're usually very solid people. They usually already know what they want and what they're working towards, and they seem to be able to effortlessly balance like all the parts of their life. And so we really, that's the part of Virgo that we really need right now, especially after maybe some of the transitions or sacrifices that you felt you've been making this year in order to really step into who you are and to show up as the fullest embodiment of yourself. We really need this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Virgo season is really going to fortify these other energies into us. So you can still go back and look at your Leo season tarot scopes. You can even go back and look at Cancer tarot scopes, because you really needed to know what Cancer season was bringing you in order to tap into Leo season, and then in Virgo season, that's all getting fortified within us. So it really doesn't matter when you watch these things, you get the messages when you're supposed to get the messages. So it really is kind of it's just about, and the word boundaries kind of kept coming up, but it's more than that. We were already setting boundaries at the beginning of this journey, we've already had a lot of this energy of like setting boundaries, and this is more just the boundaries are already set. It's about maintaining them. It's about holding those boundaries. It's about holding ourselves accountable for the intentions that we've set, and not allowing ourselves or others to take advantage of that. So another piece of this about boundaries and holding ourselves accountable is our rituals and our habits. And this started coming up with the Leo full moon, that we really needed to start looking closer at not just like our rituals and our routines, because we all need routine in a certain way, but it's also like our habits within our routines and the things that we are doing on autopilot, and we just do them all the time because we're used to it, and a lot of that stuff like you have to continue doing. But we also should be recognizing maybe the habits we formed that aren't really serving us anymore. The routines we've created that aren't setting us up for success. So this is really about like self-responsibility, because that's another quality associated with Virgo, responsibility. They are an earth sign. They know how to show up. They know how to get things done. They know how to make plans. So they're can-do people. They just do it in such a subtle way that unless you have a Virgo close to you that you know, you probably wouldn't even like realize like who the Virgos are. I always feel like it's a lot of times earth signs always surprise you that they're earth signs. Because most earth signs have a good sense of humor too, but they're naturally supportive people when they're not in their shadow, at least. But we all have a shadow. It's for every sign. Every sign has a light and a shadow side. So we're trying to focus on the light side of this energy. But there's always lessons that come with this energy also. And that brings us to our tarot card of the season, which is the Hermit. Virgo is associated with the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, and this is part of like why I feel like Virgo can get a bad rap, because they can easily isolate and be introverted. But I know a lot of Virgos that once you get them out of their shell, they're like out of their shell and they're like, we're gonna do this now. And so with the Hermit, and this is really great for this season, because the Hermit is all about like learning also. It's represented by a masculine figure. And if you notice that they are actually on top of a mountain here, like looking down on creation. And then you see the light in their lantern, and then the staff is actually very symbolic also. Staffs have been used as symbols in all sorts of beliefs and religions for a long time, and it's a symbol of like the way shower, the leader of the person that knows the way. And then we have the like literal light representation of light, and that's also of idea. And the thing about the Hermit is that, knowledge is power for sure, and Virgo is not a dummy at all. I feel like it's very rare to find a struggling Virgo. We're all human though. And the thing about the Hermit is though that the Hermit has to come out of their cave eventually. You can't just like hoard all this knowledge and education to yourself. You have to share it eventually. That is like a big lesson and message of the Hermit. And when it comes to this Virgo season, it's really great because we're having it highlighted by this Libra in Venus, and we're carrying over our lessons from Cancer and Leo season. And so, and this has all been about learning about ourselves, really, and learning about like how we are with people, and how we are with ourselves, and how we are in the world. And now it's time to fortify that and stand in it. I see they're standing strong. They're looking down like, oh, there's probably some people I should let know what's going on. So it is about that, about being honest too about these things that we've learned about ourselves with those around us. So that's the general overview for Virgo season. Please be sure to follow me at Meryl's Mystic on all platforms so that you can dive deeper with me throughout the season. I do a live for the new moon and the full moon, and then those energy overviews will be posted on YouTube. Cool. Let's get into your taroscopes. Hi Pisces. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Let's see what Libra season has in store for you. I know you've been having a little bit of a rough go as of late, and I hope that that's going to start turning around for you. Ooh, and it looks like it is going to start turning around. The Chariot. So first off, the Chariot represents Cancer, so there might be a Cancer in your life. Water signs are usually compatible with other water signs. I used to think that water signs needed to be with other water signs in like romantic relationships, but that's just not true at all. I feel like a lot of the time when water signs need to be with other water signs, there's a level of patience that has to go into it because we are also similar. And the thing that makes us very similar is, well, we all have the idea of how things should go. Not Cancer and Scorpio more than you, Pisces. You are very go with the flow. But the other thing that connects us is our deep connection to your intuition. And I think all these things that have been happening to you lately have really been messing with that. And I'm hoping that the Chariot is coming in to like guide you back to being connected with your intuition. The Chariot, it's also about our path of purpose and our path of passion, and the journey that our heart leads us on, and the journey of our heart and soul, and how to follow our heart and soul on that journey. So the Chariot feels very much like an auspicious like change for you. It feels like not necessarily a new path, but maybe like a new fork in the road where you've been going down this rough path for a little while, and it's like you could keep going down the rough path, but then here's like a pretty new path that's like, hey, how about a little break over here? It's really nice and shiny, and you're actually going to really love it over here. So this could also, it could feel too good to be true. And I feel that from the guides, from the spirit world is like, you're gonna think it's too good to be true, but you deserve it. You deserve like a little respite path, or at least like a sunnier path. It always makes me think of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know. I'm a child of 90s Disney movies. And there's the moment where Maurice the father is trying to go to this, wherever he was going with his invention, and him and the horse are going down this path, and he's feeling a little worried, and he feels like he might be getting a little lost, and they come to a fork, and one side of the path just looks really scary and not like the one you should take, and the other one is like nice and light, and there's like birds chirping over there, and the father Maurice is like, okay, well, let's take this one, like the rough path, and the horse is looking at him like, are you crazy? No, we're going why aren't you taking this path here? So it kind of feels like your spirit guides are the horse. I think Philippe is the horse's name. I do not know how I remember these things. And you are Maurice. Like, no, come on, we're already on this path, and I'm sure that this is the way to where we're getting to. So of course we're gonna take this one. And the Philippe, who is your spirit guide, is like, hi. Like, there's this beautiful, like, much easier, nicer, safer looking path that's over here. And I know that, like, and I want to say safer as in, like, just safer than where you've been. I'm not meaning, like, stay in a comfort zone because it's safe. Because kind of in your comfort zone right now is, like, picking the path that is unfavorable. And this is about, like, picking a favorable path for you. Where it will, like, once you get on that path, you're going to feel just, like, much more at home and much safer on that path. They really took me somewhere with that. I love when I get visuals like that are so clear. So you need to take that it's like you deserve now to take the nicer path. And Virgo season, did I say Libra season at the beginning? I might have said Libra season. I'm so sorry. What is Virgo season holding for you, Pisces? Jumping ahead. I'm caught up in the Libra and Venus energy too, and we'll talk about more of that into the season. But Virgo season is a good time and a good energy to kind of establish some comforts. It's almost like establishing some comforts and some supportive new habits or new rituals that will actually just, like, be supportive for you in a sustainable way. You guys have had so much going on that it's like, just, it's not too good to be true. If something that sounds really good is offered to you, you have the universe's permission to take it. It is there for you. Ooh, the Hangman in reverse. Interesting. So they really are trying to, like, get you unstuck. I heard unstuck, unstick. This is like all this stuff has, like, it's valid that everything that you've been going through has made you feel like you're in a rut. It is so valid. And now they are trying to kind of shake you out of that, but in, like, the most gentle way, where they're like, okay, like, all right, sweet Pisces, it's time to start waking up, time to get active again. And it's like, no, it's like, it's okay, we're gonna, one step at a time. You deserve things to be just a little easier, so let's, like, take this little path. And you know what? We need to get you moving, but, like, let's do some nurturing spiritual things to get you moving, like, and easy stuff. Light meditation, walks, like, nourishing food. Like, there just seems to be something about you needing to be held right now by the universe and by yourself. It's like turning the nurturing that you've been needing, like, towards yourself, but at the same time they're like, there's this forward movement with the Chariot and the Hangman in reverse, because if the Hangman was upright, then it would be counterintuitive to the Chariot energy, because the Chariot is on the go, and then the Hangman is sitting still, but it's in reverse. So there's like, okay, so not so much sitting still anymore, but it's not like, don't just do anything just to do something. It needs to be inspired. It needs to feel aligned. Like, they're trying to get you to feel aligned again with who you are to your core and in your spirit. And that's going to require getting out of the stagnation a little bit, but in the most gentle way. Let's just start pulling right off the top. So I feel like you guys are getting some really direct messages. It felt like a lot of the other signs like needed kind of a little bit more. But again, the Four of Swords is very similar to the Hangman in reverse. It's like we're getting the same kind of messages, like, okay, like it's time to get moving a little bit. And then the Four of Swords, it's like maybe, maybe there's some things that you need to like clean up around the house. Maybe you've been ignoring some stuff, which is fair, but it's time to like, you need to make yourself feel better at home first before you can even go out into the world. So make sure that like, have things gotten piled up in some certain corners of your house, like that could make you feel, that could add to your anxiety and depression. So it's like doing things to get those little projects going again, just bit by bit. Start with the easiest thing first. I know there's a lot of, and if you're one of those people that needs to start with the hardest thing first, go for it, whatever you want to do. But I hear that as a strategy a lot of the time. Do the hardest thing first. I'm different. I need to start with the smallest thing first because I need to get my wheels turning before I feel ready to do the harder things. So it definitely feels like start with the easiest things first. Start with the things that are right in front of you. Start with a little bit of clutter in your home. Just and making it so you feel like your home's a little more like a sanctuary and not just some place that you've been stuck in and like wallowing in. Like there's little things that we can do to just like make our spaces feel more like us and more supportive and more whimsical. And that's different for everybody. So like obviously you can see my space, like there are little things I add all over my house to make it feel just a little bit more like me, And God bless my partner for just letting me, do my weird little interior design stuff the way that I want to, because I just like having a lot of stuff to look at, but I still like it tidy, so like you can't see that there's piles hidden over here, and I've been doing all this other little projects around my space so that I can like get more organized, like, so just little things like that. Let's keep going. Oh, Justice in reverse. You have a lot of major arcana going on, so that's really good, because I don't know how much you were getting these like major things. It was just kind of like, ooh, you guys have been through a lot, so like just relax. It's like it's gonna be okay. Take it easy. You're human. And now it is trying to kind of get you up and moving. Like getting this, because you guys thrive on motion. So I know a few Pisces that have even had to deal with some stuff that have actually literally made them have to, like, more than one. Like, I know more than one Pisces who has had something happen to them or had to have, like, a procedure done where they were stuck on, like, the couch and they could not move. And that is torture for most Pisces. Most of the time, you guys like to just be on the move doing something. You're very productive. And so it's, like, trying to get you connected back with like that, with what got you going again. But it's like just slowly, like let's just slowly rev it up, like let's just a little bit of going, little things that make you feel good, make you feel accomplished, just little steps. Justice in reverse, they are trying to get you back to this balance. That's what I'm saying, trying to get you connected to who you are, and you're the only dual water sign. Justice is a dual sign, so again there's this like balance coming in, and I feel like there's two things with this card. It's like, first they recognize like that you have been feeling unbalanced, and it wouldn't come up in reverse though if it wasn't something that's like being worked on, because this balance is it's a few spaces away from the Chariot. Oh, that's interesting, because it's actually the card right before the Hangman. So it's like we're trying to move forward, and these things that keep coming up in reverse are in your future, and I'm seeing this pattern a lot, but these are the things you need to work on so that like we get here, so you get back to balance. And for you Pisces too, I feel like a lot of like this little bit of work is gonna go a long way for you, because also I feel like there's a connection to Libra season here, and Libra season is the next season to Virgo, and maybe that's why I was getting Libra vibes at the beginning, because it's like slow steps now, and then maybe Libra season's gonna get a little, pick it up a little bit more for you. So they feel like there's a lot of things that are coming together between Virgo season and Libra season for you. Cool. Yeah. That's all good. So we're getting moving. We're trying to like get more in touch with our intuition again. Higher power. Get connected with a higher power. Making your own space feel good again. Creating your sanctuary. Finding the balance. Like these are some bigger things to have, like 3 major arcana and 1 minor. I mean, that's major stuff. So definitely remain open to the signs. Remain open to how you're feeling too. But there is a part of it that's just like, all right, man, even if you don't feel like it, you gotta get up and try to do like one thing today and get like one thing done, okay? I believe in you. All right, let's pull you a Queen of the Moon Oracle card by Stacey DeMarco. Oh, that was fast. It's funny because this was on the bottom of the deck, and I was like, oh, that's a good card for you guys, and then I literally just like it wouldn't let me put it back. It's like, that's the one. Will. I don't think I've ever pulled this card for anybody before. Waxing Gibbous 4, number 13, Will, which is perfect. Perfect. You have the will. Where there is a will, there is a way. Will. Decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions and life, no one else's. Passion and will determine a great passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. And the mantra is, I have the will to make the changes I need. I have the will to make the changes I need. I have the will to make the changes I need. I'm working on that. Will feels like a very old-fashioned concept. In a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible, or there is always someone else to blame, the idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we're going to change something in our lives, let's say a particularly negative pattern or bad habit, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want the change, but it is our will that insists we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control over our own actions, and that will fires up the persistence we need to get what we want. Contrary to popular belief, in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will. This means we do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. How do we get what we want instead? We cast on ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. For example, instead of casting a spell to get our ex-boyfriend, who doesn't want us, by influencing his will to love us again, we more ethically cast upon ourselves for our ideal partner. This way, we don't interfere with their free will, and if the ex is our ideal partner, they will return to us freely. If not, we've attracted someone new and better for us. Either way, win-win. To use our will productively, we should assess what we really want and make sure that it is what we want to reach for. Companion stone is hematite. Hematite is a very cool stone. Cool! I have the will to make the changes I need. I have the will to make the changes I need. Because you need a little change right now. Just a little. Need a little change. And Virgo season is like the perfect energy for all of this. Because it's really still about like nurturing you and yourself and your heart and your soul. And changing how you've been feeling, because how you've been feeling has not necessarily been how you always feel or even want to feel. So they're bringing some better stuff back into your life again. Cool. Well, I hope this helps you, dear Pisces. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated or if you have any questions, and I will see you next season for Libra season. Thank you. Bye.